All right, thank you very much, Frank.
Yes.
My guest now is Frank Faragain.
Yeah, yes, thank you.
All right, well, it's
the
very
reason
nice
why I went by Frankie Flowers all the time is because people would say my name wrong all the time. Yeah,
we're going to have you hang around because
Yeah.
you're in the middle of doing something kind of neat right now, helping out a friend, helping out someone else. What's going on?
Yeah, so this is National Pollinator Week, so the timing's good. But last Friday, I had a friend that has Greenleaf Pest Control that really specializes in taking care of different issues that people have with pests around their home. We went to do a bee rescue last week. So this is a home in Bradford, my hometown, where the siding of the home was lifted up and a bee swarm happened. And with the bees swarming in the area, bees usually swarm when it's hot. They then found this little crack or crevice in the home.
Well, I think we have some pictures too.
Yeah,
so
we'll show you
let's
some
take
pictures.
a look at this.
Yeah, so they went towards the crack or crevice in the home. So you can see right at the corner of the house.
Right here, it's all lifted.
Yeah, and you can actually see the number of bees right there as well. You can see all the bees flying around. So the queen bee went in, all the other bees followed in behind, and now what they're doing is building their home inside that wall.
Wow.
So what we did is, you can see the white box that's beside there. We removed a few frames from another hive to encourage the bees to think that this is their own hive, to see if we can encourage the queen to come into that box. So once the queen comes into the box, all the other bees will follow. And then with that, we'll be able to remove that box and then move them and relocate them to another area.
So this is for homeowners as well. You're noticing a lot of bees and wasps that are going into these holes that we have in our homes. So you want to make sure things are in repair, but you also don't want to do something you shouldn't do, and that's anybody who has a brick home. You'll notice there's air vents on the bottom. Mm-hmm. Those are necessary, and people think, well, I'm going to plug them all up so that the bees won't go in there.
Yeah, so there's a look at some of the that's some of the honey. Look at the beautiful honey. That's the end purpose. But as you said, Kevin, you know, with your home, you need ventilation in your home. So there's some cracks that are meant to be there that have been done with the brickwork. That's Daniel right there as well with some honey. But at the same token, what's really some great news as National Pollinator Week is here is because of the cosmetic pesticide ban that we had introduced to the province of Ontario several years ago, bee populations and populations of insects and even wildlife has increased. And encouraging pollinators to come to your garden is always a good thing. Planting plant material that will encourage pollinators because they're the ones that produce food for us. And bee populations are on the rise, but urban beekeeping is happening more now.
Yeah, that's becoming interesting. Everyone's getting into beekeeping. I'm noticing it more and more. Like, what do we have here?
That there is just a typical hive that you'll have with your box. You can see the frames that are inside. You can see those frames right now are empty, but that's where the queen will actually go in and put its eggs down. But then there's also where they'll build their honey overall. But with urban beekeeping happening, you're going to start to see some more bee swarms. And with bee swarms, there are many different people that you can call if you see a swarm that they can then come in and get that swarm and get it out of the way.
Yeah, so for the most part, though, this is good. This is good news. Yeah. And now, how long do you think it'll be before you get the queen out of there?
Well, we're going to hope by the end of this week. We're hoping for some sunshine. For those people in the city of Toronto that want to learn more about beekeeping, there's several different organizations that will do it. As well, the Toronto Botanical Gardens has a full program on beekeeping and can make you more knowledgeable. And beesmatter.ca is also where you can get free seeds to plant.
And the ROM, I think they still have that bee, the hive that you can see the inside, and they actually see them leaving outside if you're walking around the ROM. And then there's a Royal York has its own beehive.
Yeah, and then Oxford Properties now has incorporated beehives on all the top of many of their shopping malls and shopping plazas.
Right.
So we're seeing this, and that's great. For National Pollinator Week, it's great, but for more information, go to Toronto Botanical Gardens as well.